Okay.
All right.
This is a lot of
Are
pressure.
you
I know,
recording?
but-
What?
Hello, people. Here we are with a new thing that we're doing. And what is that thing, Manaki?
What? What? Me? Oh. Well, I don't know. I guess it would be Rage of Demons, and I suppose, given that that is what we're going with, I think there's a campaign made for it, so I guess that's what we're gonna do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, I think what we're gonna do is play the published campaign by Wizards of the Coast called Out of the Abyss, because we are in it and we don't really like it that much.
No. I've long
Yeah,
said
I
that we should leave.
This campaign, as I interpreted, takes place mainly in the Underdark of Faerun. I think you guys should be the player characters, and I'll be the DM, and then you. Well, let's just do the first session now, and well, I decided actually you lost. You're captured by the drow now.
Oh no!
And you're being held in prison. They've taken all of your stuff and beaten you savagely.
Oh god!
And they've taken you down deep underground to their encampment, their little road fortress called Velkenvelv. You probably remember little of what they actually did to take you there from the surface, but you have heard from a former prisoner here that well, now he's been eaten by spiders because he spoke too loud, and they don't like that. They don't like hearing their prisoners. But if you stay here for 10 days, then you will probably never be able to see the sun again. Now, how could you possibly escape this stronghold? Armed with nothing and wearing rags, while they have weapons and poison and giant spiders and hairy fur creatures and magic and all that things. Well, I suppose that's really up to you. That's on you guys. I did all this, so
I built the damn thing.
Yeah.
Now
Got us into this mess.
That's what we'll be doing.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's a pre-published campaign. It goes from levels
1 to 15.
1 to 15. So it's a big boy.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
to say.
All right. Cool. Well, that being the setting, I suppose, this isn't our first jailbreak for a lot of us here.
It went well last time.
It did.
This one is a more difficult jailbreak, I'd say.
Great.
Sort of overall.
Great. That's what we need. We'll see if we have learned anything, I guess.
Yeah, surely.
But maybe then we should present the players first, and then we can go through the characters, I suppose. So who do we have with us here? Let's.
I think you should be introducing us, damn it.
Should I? Okay, sure.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
It's your channel. You're presenting this.
Hark!
I just made sure to make this as horrible as the other times, so it wouldn't stand out. That's what I did.
Hark! What do I see there in the mist? 'Tis my trusty companions in this adventure. Why, isn't that my trusty squire, Halldamir the Impish?
I'm no squire, bitch.
Wow.
And
I
lo!
thought this was a family.
No, it's not.
And lo! Here he is, the fluffy German himself, Sheep!
Hey.
And bringing up the poshness of the adventure by at least the 1 power to the 10 or something. I fucking know. Here is DDS.
That's as good as any.
Well, and last but not least, and also new to the channel and the stream, is gonna be Valky / Neil.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
I'm new, so please don't hurt me
Legacy.
too early.
Who the hell are you, sir? And why are you here?
I am a person that's very new to D&D, but I've only played one campaign, so this is obviously going to be very easy for me.
Mhm.
But I don't know, I'm here because I like to play, and you guys give me thoughts. So
Hear that,
thanks, I guess.
boys and girls? He's here to play.
I'm here to play.
Here's some words of advice for you. Step 1, roll dice. Step 2, don't die. Step 3,
Okay.
profit.
That's generally how it goes.
Is that it? Oh, I'll be fine, I think then.
All right.
You'll be good.
Wonderful. And with all of these wonderful introductions introduced, here we go. Shut up.
That's great.
I don't have
day.
I don't have a script, man. I'm just going.
One day
here.
we'll get good
I mean,
No.
at this.
At this point, it's a whole thing. Like, if you guys made something good, we'd have to redo it.
Yeah. This
We-
is
I
perfect.
mean,
We
isn't that
don't-
what this channel is about,
we
really?
hey. No, like we don't dress it up. What you see is what you get with us. Basically, this is it.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
Yeah, we're real, man.
Filtered.
Yes, unfiltered. We rarely edit, except when Sheep says
Also
horrible
that
things.
banter that you love to hear while you're
Yeah.
going to your home or school location, when you're
Definitely.
going to
Yeah.
work. Or...
On
And,
your 2.5 hour commute.
and
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
and here to bring said adventure to life are the different characters. So I guess we'll start from the left and work our way to the right.
All right.
Right.
So right.
No, left.
I'm going to play Lady Serilla Silthenre, a noble wood elf that is a life cleric. Here to bring happiness, joy, healing, and of course, necrotic fingers of doom
hmm
at level 1. So that's yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Why? All right. Why did you pick her?
Because during Summer of Fun 2016 edition, I played a Wood Elf Cleric of Life, and I really enjoyed it, wanted to carry on, but you, sir, did
Mhm.
not want
It's
to carry
true.
on a
It's
campaign.
true. I shut that down.
You shut it down horribly.
Oh.
So
Betrayal.
I took this beautiful opportunity to create another Wood Elf Cleric and change it up a bit, of course, but hopefully it will be just as fun.
Can we get a little backstory for Lady Serilla?
Yeah, she's from a noble family of the Silvermoon Kingdom, in the northern part of the Sword Coast, and she is a very charitable lady, doing things for the people. Whether she thinks that they're always deserving of it is completely irrelevant. She still does a lot of charity work, which, of course, some in her family are not too keen on. And although they did not wish for her unfortunate circumstances to come to pass, something similar would have done just as well.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess we move on.
Right.
Well then, I will be playing a Dragonborn Warlock. The Dragonborn part shouldn't surprise anyone.
No.
Although I do have to say, my initial concept was a gnome. However, I found this amazing picture that I just had to use.
Yeah, he does have a book. It's like, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warlock is a bit of a new one for me. I don't generally play spellcasters, and I have no real reason why I never did. So I figured, hey, the Warlock is the class I know the least about, and normally not a flavor I like. But that changed. Specifically, I will be playing a Warlock following one of the great old ones. Which one really isn't important.
You couldn't pronounce
Trust
the
me.
name anyway.
Yeah. It may be relevant during the campaign, but you'll just have to watch. Who knows? As for backstory, Ghesh is a very urban Dragonborn, having grown up in Waterdeep, in one of the big cities here, the only city that I know. Him, with his family, and a brother, an older brother, in fact. The two of them initially were great friends in their younger years, but eventually it turned out that his older brother had incredible magical potential and quickly rose to be a rather prestigious spellcaster, liked by everyone and generally successful. Whereas my character, Ghesh, didn't really have any such talent. He decided to make up for that lack of talent by pretending that he did, in fact, have talent, standing on street corners and dazzling people with his magic tricks, mostly involving cards and cups and usually money. And usually that actually earned him quite a bit. At some evening, perhaps, he had, however, a rather heated discussion with his brother, where he, in fact, told him straight to his face that he did, in fact, know magic, and he's just as good as his brother. His brother, however, called his bluff, and now Ghesh was in a predicament. Either he has to somehow prove that he does, in fact, know magic, which at the time was impossible, or actually admit that his brother is better than he is, because he knows magic. Well, during that night, a dream offered a solution. There was magic available up for grabs for those who were brave and perhaps naive enough to grasp it. Ghesh pondered and eventually accepted that mysterious offer, and from then on had access to raw but unrefined magic. He proved his brother wrong and proved himself right that he does in fact know magic. Following that, he had and continues to have strange dreams about a library somewhere, and one of those dreams has led him out of Waterdeep and into a drow ambush. And the rest we'll discover probably later.
Very exciting. All right. My character is Liem Zaragush. He is a half-orc fighter, which I am aiming to make an Eldritch Knight down the road. I picked him generally because I haven't played a frontliner fighter type in a while. The last time I did, I think, was Raphael in Forsaken Throne. Since then, it has been a lot of casters or a lot of ranged stuff. So, yeah, it was time, I felt, to do something like that. And so here he is. I have seen fighters in other campaigns of D&D 5 edition, and I think they have performed very well all the time that I've seen them. I've never seen an Eldritch Knight played. Most of the fighters I've seen are champions or battle masters. But I looked at the Eldritch Knight and thought that it was potentially really cool. It seemed flavorful, and I just like the word Eldritch Knight. It just conjures up something awesome in my mind, like, a magical knight swordsman type thing. And since Pathfinder killed off the Eldritch Knight prestige class with the Magus class, like making it superfluous, this is the best opportunity I have to play an Eldritch Knight. So yeah, Liem is a war orphan, like so many of his kind. He was basically picked up, rescued from the remains of a bloody battlefield by the Spiral Vanguard, who I guess people with good memory might recall was the name of the adventuring group from this first Summer of Fun campaign. The Spiral Vanguard has, since that campaign, basically become a mercenary company. Still trying to uphold the old ideals of the Spiral Vanguard, still dreaming of retaking the old spire as it fell to darkness. Still led by the venerable Erevan Nodalis, known as the Spider, who tries his best to keep the old traditions alive and the company sort of vital and fit for duty. It is certainly a mercenary company, and there's not that many Eldritch Knights left in it. Maybe 10 or 15 or so, with about 5 to 10 squires each, sort of taking care of them and the camp and cooking food and maybe shooting a bow if needed. But yeah, picked up by the old guard, so to speak. Liam learned fairly quickly. He is surprisingly bright for a half-orc. Keen mind, investigative. He likes to question. He likes knowledge, and he is actually a fairly good fighter, all things considered. And so he was basically primed to be taken up into the order to learn the full extent of the Vanguard's mysteries, how they blend sorcery and swordplay into a very deadly combo. A style that is these days pretty old and forgotten. It's rare that someone has this, and especially this sort of brand of fighting. Yes, was led by the best Ladrin. One of the missions recently that the Vanguard took was retaking or helping to retake the old dwarven fortress of Gauntlgrim, licensed by or paid by the High King Brutal Battlehammer. The Vanguard certainly applied itself to help retake the old dwarven hold. It was certainly not the only company there. Brunor called up a lot of favors, and a lot of people went in there to clear it out. But it was the first real engagement for Liem, where he managed to, in a incredibly daring leap from a high parapet down onto a bridge where like drow or some other like hideous thing was advancing, striking down in the middle of the group, setting the enemies into disarray for long enough for the archers and the others to come up and pick them off, earning him the nickname the Lightning because he strikes from above. All in all, the operation was very successful, although Liam was praised by the dwarves and like congratulated personally by the king. There is something gnawing on him. Something in that fight didn't go exactly as planned, and it's something he's not very proud of. He has never spoken of it to anyone, but it gnaws on him. He did some things there that he's not very happy about in retrospect. Then, on one of the patrols around the area for the dwarves, basically they had sighted more drow, and so the Vanguard was sent a night out together with Liam and some squires to sort of look out the area, but they basically underestimated the force. They were assaulted, and Liam was one of the first to go down to the hideous drow sleep poison, and he only has memories of nightmarish, like dark silhouettes, spiders, and just screams of horrible pain before he woke up down here. So, in summary, he is fairly fresh-faced, all things considered. A mercenary, a aspiring knight, with a bit of a troubled past and a dark secret. Yes. That's it.
Yes. All right, well done. Well, it seems like it's me then. All right, so my character is Reardon Heartspark, who is a halfling bard. My reason for playing this character is pretty simple. This is my second campaign ever. So my first campaign I was playing a fighter, so I decided to maybe go with a spellcaster and a bit of range this time. So it's not much of a difficult choice, but yeah. Well, my character, in terms of backstory, Reardon is a noble of his family, the Heartspark family, that they currently reside in Neverwinter. His grandfather was an accomplished bard, and he was the one that established the family by investing some of the spoils that he got from many of his adventures. And as Reardon was growing up with his father, these stories of his grandfather inspired him to follow the footsteps of becoming a bard. The problem, though, with him and his father is that his father is more focused on the mercantile matters of the family. He doesn't believe in these assumedly far-fetched stories that Reardon comes up to him with about his grandfather and kind of pushes him away. He thinks he's an embarrassment. So because of this, Reardon's kind of, he doesn't really like his father, and he kind of acts out in a way to kind of embarrass him in front of his clients and such. And because of that, his father sent him far away to tutor a cousin of his called Galleon Heartspark. Galleon is was one of the nobles in the family that was destined to inherit the business. So Reardon was tasked, along with other tutors, to teach him the ways of the world and also of business. So Reardon was teaching him about history and the arts, and also sneaked a few kind of choice stories about his grandfather in. At first, they didn't really like each other. They both didn't want to be where they were, but once they shared the fact that they hated being forced to do things that they didn't want to do, they kind of got to know each other, and they formed a relationship. And that is where Reardon was for a few years. But then one day, as Reardon was coming across the manor for morning lessons, he opened the door and found the manor completely trashed and torn apart. There was signs of a struggle everywhere. Galleon's guards were strewn across the floor, blood everywhere. Reardon rushed to Galleon's room, burst open the door, and Galleon was slumped over in his chair, and he was assassinated. Obviously struck with grief, Reardon really, he really wanted to know who did this, who could do this to someone in my family. But the guards that were with Galleon fought really well because they left behind clues. Reardon found a cut pouch from one of the attackers that revealed a letter of order from a noble called Ghezerim Dulak, who it seemed like ordered this assassination on Galleon. So, with this information in mind, Reardon set out to get support to find out what happened to his family. He asked his father for help, but suspiciously enough, his father didn't believe him that this was an assassination. He believed that this was just the act of random bandits and it was a terrible mistake and accident, and kind of pushed him away and didn't believe him, which led Reardon to go off on his own and find his own ways to figure out this mystery. And as such, it's a secret that could completely ruin his family, but he has never told anybody and kept it within himself. So bringing it up to where he is now, he recently got a letter from an informant with no name, and told him that if he wanted to find more out about the assassination and about Ghezerim, who mysteriously disappeared after his death, that he would have to travel to the city of Silvermoon, and he would get information there. So without further ado, he set out with a caravan of guards, and he was pretty content. He felt pretty safe. But on the way, in the dead of night, he was assaulted upon by a group of drow. His guards were slain. He was hit with a sleeping dart, and as he was falling unconscious, he fell down at the feet of a man who was dressed in noble wear, surprisingly. And as he was looking up and saw the man's face, he realized that this was the man he was looking for. And that is where we have him left off. He's awake in this dark and scary place. Yeah, that's it really.
I think that's the best intro for a character in all of our introduction videos ever.
Thanks.
So in depth, was great.
And so with that, it moves on to me. Thank you for that, by the way. Pretty good.
Mm.
Very proud of it.
Thanks.
I myself am playing, well, a high elf rogue. Was my original choice. I changed it, and then I went back to my original choice. There were some tweaks. I have been rather indecisive, though I often end up being so, as others have learnt before. My reasoning for picking this in the end? A few reasons. The part of it is I have two of my favourite classes are Sorcerer and Rogue, and I decided not to play a Sorcerer, which left me a Rogue. Simple enough, in that regard. With that, though, as I am playing Roland, at least that is how he's introduced you. If he has some long, extravagant elven name that he's choosing to just leave out because you can't pronounce it, well, that's who to know. That's, his to know and yours to maybe find out, maybe. For who he is, well, He himself, a high elf, a sun high elf of all kinds, the best of course, grew up originally in the city of Waterdeep as well. Though it was never a place he liked being. He never found city life to be enjoyable. Though for some time he remained there. For some time at least. Studying a lot. His father was an adventurer in themselves. His mother, he has no idea who they were. But that's hardly an issue. With his father constantly out traveling, he had an area which he studied a lot. His father was enamored by the secrets below, the secrets of the underdark, which is not really the greatest topic to be studying around all the time, but regardless. Roland spent quite a lot of time, as a result, when he was younger, studying and learning about this place from his father's notes and his research, discussions with him when he was actually around. You know, doing the best you can with an adventurer for a father. Until one day, a letter arrived, along with a dwarven figure with a rather dour look. One of his fellow adventurers, a very close friend, informing him of his father's demise. That was, well, it was a time. But with that, and this over, for reasons that perhaps they wanting to uphold what his father did, maybe just because he didn't like the city of Waterdeep, he decided to leave the city and wander out, and he did so for a long time, at least by a human standard, for a long time, wandering the wilderness, and notably exploring many caves, exploring underground, exploring the world around him. This was what he chose to do. Exploring and staying away from people. People who betray you. Rocks don't. Makes things easy. This distrust born from, well, that's not important for now. As he did this, though, at some point he did somewhat enter with civilization at times. And he's going into towns to get more equipment, or to rest in an actual bed once in a while, or just to sell the things he found. And one time he made friends with some people around. A few, but not many. He was someone who rarely kept friends, but these were some people he did truly care. And yet, one day, he woke up one morning in his camp and returned to the town to sell. When he did, he found, when he went to the building, the door just kind of creaked open. It was empty. Gone. And very little was there. Except, well, Roland was hardly one to leave it at that. He spent quite a long time searching around, again and again, trying to figure out what happened, talking to people, trying to figure it out. And in time, he was not going to let one of the few people he did trust disappear, let alone all of the people in that town he trusted. Eventually finding clues that they may have been, well, may have been attacked or taken by someone from creatures from the Underdark. Drow. Is this for sure? He couldn't guarantee they're alive. But he wanted to find out the truth, if they're alive or not, and possibly get to revenge. And with such, he himself voluntarily decided to head forth towards the Underdark. However, his exploration soon ended quickly. With one night, he fell into camp. A noise awakened him, but before he had a chance to figure out what was going on, he was back out again. They had found him before he found them. And that is where the adventure ends. Or where it starts, in this case.
All right. Well, So that's the general presentation of the campaign and of the players and the characters. Do you, Manaki, as the DM, have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think we should just get going. I mean,
All right. And when will we
let's
get
go on this
going?
adventure together. Well, Wednesday.
All right.
Great.
So
The plan for this is to run it on Wednesdays. We will stream it and record it as usual, and it will be on the channel. If you missed a stream or can't make it, the times will be normal, like normal stream starting time, as we always have. And then down the line, eventually, we will move this campaign to most likely the Saturday slot, but we're not sure yet. But it's going to be moved either to Friday or Saturday, basically whatever clears up first. Right?
we'll take a look at things when, in the future. But for now, it's Wednesday.
Yep. For now, it's Wednesdays, and yeah, come with us on this adventure. It's going to be awful and amazing.
Be great.
Yes, it will be grand. I am told.
Be grand, great crack, lads.
So with that, thanks for watching this intro, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Bye. Yay, Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Wednesday.
This is the Paraguay.